Inkster City Council, April 1st, 2019 meeting is called to order. Everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Everyone, please remain standing. Let the ask evangelist Cooper to please come and give us a prayer.
Well, the Bible says, be ye also ready. Ooh, our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come this evening, Lord, just to say thank you for all the many blessings that you continue to bestow upon us, Lord. We ask that you just continue to bless this city, our mayor, all our council, all the residents, Lord. And we want to be the city that is united in one. Amen. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Roll call.
Mayor Nolan.
Present.
Councilwoman Watley. Present. Councilman Oden.
Present.
Councilwoman Mitchell. Present. Councilwoman Howard. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Williams.
Present.
And Councilman Chisholm.
Present.
We have 7 present tonight, and we do have a quorum.
Okay. Everyone had a chance to look at the agenda? You know what? We need to add one item to on the new business. We need to make a decision how we're going to honor Pat Williams. We'll put that down as E. And then we'll make sure we have a discussion on that when it comes up, so I have some additional information. So item E is going to be Pat Williams. Any other additions we need to put on the agenda? All right, do we have a motion?
Make a motion we accept the agenda with the add-on.
Support. Been properly moved and supported. Discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Passes. All right. Presentation. Inkster Beautification Committee, Tony Bailey.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good evening.
Council, City Clerk, Treasurer, City Attorney, Department Heads, the audience, and those who viewing. I'm before you. I'm back. It's spring. I'm up here before you concerning the cleanup, the community. In April, we always have the kickoff, so we go out and clean up the different elements that's left from the winter months. Everybody have the schedule for 2019. If you don't have one, Rev have them, and he'll pass out one for you. These are the days we want the community to be involved, community-wide cleanup. We want those who work in the city, live in the city, to come out. Our kickoff will be April 27th. We meet up at the rec center at 9 a.m. We will have refreshments. We will have trash bags and gloves. Another thing that we will have for those who have kids in school or anyone that needs community service credit, at the end of the cleanup day, community service certificates will be given out. And we did that last year, and we're gonna do it again this year. So all the dates are on there. The dates are every last Saturday of the month except May. We do the third Saturday. We don't want to clean up during the Memorial weekend because a lot of people either are out of town or whatnot. So we choose the third Saturday in May. Dumpsters will be available for those in the community. The dumpsters listed at the Westwood Park, Wheatley Park, Lamont Park, and at Booker Dozier. Now, due to the fact that at Wheatley Park and Lamont Park, a lot of different ones do utilize, and the dumpsters are overflow, so I have 2 dumpsters put out at those locations. We want to keep Inkster beautiful. Also, if our city council liaison want to speak on concerning,
Look, she's asking. You see that? Yeah. That's good. Sure, I will.
okay,
Okay. Oh, now?
yeah, if you add to that.
All right. We've decided, as you all recall, we've had the Inkster Cleanup Coalition for years now, 3 years. And that incorporates the police department, the fire department, the ordinance department, a couple organizations, ICANN, and the beautification committee. This year, we're gonna work in conjunction with the beautification committee. So every day that Tony has listed, we will have an opportunity for the residents to clean up their area too. So what you can do is notify us. We can make sure you have construction grade bags. We can make sure you have the notification slips that we pass out to different neighbors and stuff. And if you're interested in participating, what you need to do is get the bag, then fill it up, and leave it on your corner, twist tied and everything. So what will happen after you've picked up just in your area, you don't have to come to the rec center or any of these other places, you can just clean up your street on that date. We will provide the cleanup materials necessary, or like I said, the bag, and then you will leave that twist tied on the corner. You will notify your council person what corner you've left that on. They will in turn notify the DPW and the volunteers we're trying to get together to come by, pick up those bags, and just take them to the dumpsters that are already set out and waiting for you. Okay, so this is a way for everybody in the city to participate on the same day cleanup. You'll have month notice, you know, and all you do is contact one of us to get that information. As far as, you know, well, you'll have Tony's information. We'll be sending this out. We'll be putting this on the website. So you know these are the days that you can work in your neighborhood too, and that garbage can get picked up. So this is a way for us to become a better community. You can know some of those 4 people left on your street. You all can get together and do that, and we will come by and pick it up. Now, DPW is doing a lot of work, but Bud has guaranteed that he will do his best to get those out. But we're also asking you, there's a lot of people with trucks and stuff. You can go by your neighborhood, and if that bag is ready on the corner, you can put it in your truck, take it to one of the 4 locations that Tony and them have set up. And like I said, we've incorporated the other organizations here, like police and fire, so who knows? They may have a couple of people available to do that for you too. You just have to let us know, but this is the way we're all coming together. Now notice, you got the residents, you got the organizations, you got the city council. What more do we need? Okay? That's it.
Okay, flyers, if you guys can just spread the word, flyers will be at the rec center, you know, case, normally the information is on the city calendar, because I do get calls if the dumpsters are not out there yet, and they will call and ask me, aren't the dumpsters supposed to be out? Because they go by what's on the city calendar. So due to the fact it's not on the city calendar, we want to make sure that it's on the city's website, or maybe on their television station to show that. We will have flyers available at the rec center, the library, and up here at City Hall. Any questions?
I just wanted to add one more thing for the city council people, and you all can ride around on in your district on that day and see where those bags are too, and notify people. So that just gives us a way to stay in touch with our constituents.
Will this be every cleanup day?
Yeah, each one of them. So that's why it's so far in advance. You'll be aware of it. Like I said, we'll give you the little slips to pass out that say we'll be in your neighborhood on that day. And this way, instead of you know, doing a lot of complaining, you can help out.
Okay, So 9 a.m. up at the rec center. Thank you.
See you then. All right. Okay. Joel Jones. State Representative Joel Jones.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, administration, citizens. Just have some information for you all today. No major legislation, as many of you might know. We've been on recess last week and this week, so we'll be back at the Capitol next week. But just some information. April is National Alcohol Awareness Month, and so it's observed to increase outreach and education about the dangers of alcoholism, drug dependence, and other related issues. So just some history. It was established in early April 1987 to educate college students about the risk of drinking too much. So about 40% of students engage in binge drinking on college campuses. The month-long observance draws attention to the cause of alcoholism, the signs and effects of the condition, and it places emphasis on how to talk to loved ones who have drinking problems or how to find treatment options like therapy and Alcoholics Anonymous. So according to the latest statistics nationally, 10,874 people have died because of alcohol-impaired driving since 2017, or in 2017. And in Michigan, there were 311 alcohol-related traffic deaths that year. The cost of drunk driving to the government is more than $114 billion every year, according to the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence. So programs like Alcohol Awareness Month exist to ensure that families and communities have the resources, information, and options available to control the crisis of alcoholism. Other important things going on this month. Today on April Fool's Day is my parents' anniversary, so if y'all get a chance, go ahead and tell them happy anniversary, I guess, today. It's not a joke. And then also some days from now on the 11th, I'll be turning 24, a whopping 24. Still be the youngest fellow out there in Lansing, but I am getting older. So many of you see this facial hair growing. So, but some information from some of our state agencies. We had the Secretary of State. From the last ballot initiatives, there was some redistricting that was discussed. So in 2020, there'll be a commission on redistricting. So in November 2018, the Michigan voters approved ballot proposal number 2. It was a constitutional amendment to establish a commission of citizens to adopt district boundaries for the Michigan Senate, the Michigan House of Representatives, and the U.S. Congress for every 10 years in accordance with the U.S. Census. This commission will be made up of 13 registered voters, 4 Democrats, 4 Republicans, and 5 unaffiliated voters or members of minority parties or minor parties. Any Michigan registered voter is eligible to apply to serve on this commission, and applications will be going out later this year. If you want to receive more information on the application process, you can visit www.michiganredistricting.org. And it also says the commissioners will be selected no later than September 1st, 2020. And the first meeting will be October 15th, 2020. So if anyone is interested, feel free to check it out.
Say the address again.
www.michiganredistricting.org. Also from the Licenses and Regulatory Affairs Department, if anyone is impacted by the Paid Medical Leave Act, that was put out last year. It just took effect on March 29th, just a few days ago. So the Paid Medical Leave Act applies to employers with 50 or more workers. It allows workers to receive 1 hour for every 35 hours worked up to a maximum of 40 hours per year. So the law requires the employer to pay at a pay rate equal to the greater of the normal hourly wage, the base wage, or the applicable minimum wage rate. As alternative, employers may also provide at least 40 hours of paid medical leave to eligible employees at the beginning of a benefit year. Paid medical leave must be used in hourly increments unless an employer has specific policies set out in the employee handbook or employee benefit document. So this law creates an administrative process for employees to lodge complaints. Also, there were some Michigan State Police grants. I'm not going to read through all of them. Inkster doesn't really have any right now, but the funds, basically MSP announced that 135 public school districts, 66 non-public school districts, 20 public charter school districts, and 9 intermediate school districts will receive $25 million in state grants from the 2019 Competitive School Safety Grant Program. So this might be something that we can look into moving forward. These funds are basically just used to improve safety and security of students, staff, and school buildings through the purchase of technology and equipment. So most of these grants this year went out to like Livonia, Dearborn Heights, Westland, but it's something we could look forward to next year. Like I said, no bills were passed because we weren't in session. Something put on the radar for some of our law enforcement folks. So Chief Riley, I believe we've been in contact with you about this already. The Republicans on the Military Veterans and Homeland Security Committee are proposing 2 bills that prohibit local communities from enacting policies that prevent law enforcement from detaining undocumented immigrants and handing them over to federal officials like U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, other known as ICE. So these are House Bills 4083 and 4090. They're also known as the Local Government Sanctuary Policy Prohibition Act and the County Sanctuary Policy Prohibition Act. So this would basically disallow the creation of sanctuary cities in Michigan. So we're going to be going into committee next Tuesday. It's very helpful if we can get either letters of support from the council and the mayor, any law enforcement folk, basically just saying that this is not really an issue that we're experiencing. They're trying to pitch it as a law enforcement issue, that law enforcement officers are getting harassed for not coordinating with ICE and other immigration programs, but in reality, it's really just the Republicans trying to take an attack on immigrants coming into the state. So we can work on that sometime during this week, over the weekend, getting some sample letters or something, if you all are interested. That's it. Any questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. No. All right. What I was going to say is after our 28 days of Black History, I noticed you begin to put Black History facts on your Facebook page.
Yes.
And I was just going to ask you if possibly you might be able to continue that.
I got you. It's a brother named Jamal Brown out of California. He has a Black History calendar, so he has 365 days Black History facts. So maybe I'll see if I can get some. For you all
And do
too.
that, or, put out there for this. Because one thing was glaringly clear. We don't know our history.
Right. Right.
And we'd like to start, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what's going on with the insurance rates? I know I've heard that the insurance rates were going up. Do they know why, or they're just raising them?
I think insurance rates are constantly fluctuating. The best thing that you can do is shop around right now. So the conversation, like I know a couple of you have been around the governor talking about the gas tax. She's the first one to propose a budget. So I think that she had to go very extreme with 45 cents as a gas tax. But that opens up the conversation for more negotiations around different things. They're trying to keep that separate from auto insurance right now. So the conversation on auto insurance is occurring, but it's more behind the scenes, and we're looking at roads basically on the forefront of the issue. So, I mean, auto insurance is always going to be going up and going down. It's just about shopping around and depending on where you go. The conversations haven't been too aggressive just now, but I'm quite sure that while we're talking about roads, we're going to have to talk about auto
Yeah,
insurance.
because some people pay more than others, and they live right. It's,
Right.
it's crazy. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you get that.
Question.
Yes, sir.
The $1.8 billion that Snyder and when they put out for to repair the roads, how much of that money did they collect? I know they had 5 years to collect it. Where are they collecting that money?
I had to
How
get
much
back
did
to
they
you on that
collect?
number. I had to get back to you on that number. Yeah.
Question is, when they collect it, what do they do with it?
Right. And, dollars. That's funny money sometimes. And dollars go all over the place.
Yep.
Anything else?
No.
Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Happy Monday.
Have any other elected officials? I didn't see any. Okay, good. Okay, consent agenda. Everyone had a chance to look at the minutes? Okay. Any additions, deletions, corrections? We have a motion?
Make a motion, we accept the consent agenda as is.
Support. Properly moved and supported, discussion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Call the question.
Sorry.
Weren't we supposed to add something?
To the
Minutes?
consent agenda?
Hey, Williams?
No, we added it to.
That's the
new
agenda.
business, under new business.
Oh, okay,
But we added it though.
all right.
Okay,
I
you-
see all the question, whatever.
all those,
Hold on.
you're right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Passes. Boards and commissions?
Mr. Chair, I would like to appoint Roosevelt Stubbs to the Commission on Aging.
We already had, do we have his information already?
We do?
What's he on right now? I know him, but what was he?
Yeah, but
Oh, he's on one of those,
He's on something.
He's on something?
something.
You sure?
I thought so.
I don't know.
Well,
You-
y'all nominated him, but I think I have something from Mr. Stubbs.
I mean, I know he was on the CERT team,
Searching, yeah.
but that's not an appointment.
No.
And I know he was on the he is involved in the Veterans Ministry.
Correct. And he was also on the other committee. Call the name of it.
But do we get to see them before we vote?
Yeah, we don't have it on file already, then we have to get it. Well, we'll make sure we get it on file, because I'm not sure.
So he just been nominated tonight.
He's been nominated tonight. Okay, any other nominations?
Yes, sir. I would like to nominate Tania James to the Parks and Recreation Committee. Committee? Which one?
District 3.
Okay, yeah.
Support.
Okay, do we already have her information?
Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
she sent it.
Okay, cool. All right. You ready to vote?
Did she's here tonight. Did you want to say anything to me?
Speech.
Good evening, Mayor and Council,
Good
department
evening.
heads. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to serve additionally in the city of Inkster. I'm looking forward to the appointment of being on the Parks and Recreation Committee so I can continue to serve.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, griller.
Ready?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
We've been on it before we started doing this policy. Okay, we already had the motion, huh?
Yes.
It's been seconded?
Oh, no, we didn't have a motion. I just not.
It was seconded by Councilwoman
You
Mitchell.
moved her
Yeah.
appointment and I seconded.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay? Passes.
Mr. Chair, I need to rescind my motion from the last meeting of appointing Jason Turner to the Park and Recs Committee.
You just nominated.
You just nominated.
That's fine.
You didn't appoint.
All right. That's fine. Roosevelt Stubbs is on the ZBA, Zoning Board of Appeals. But I believe he's been there longer before we came up with this policy, if I'm not mistaken. So we may not have his application on file or his information sheet. So, even though he's already served on a board, we just ask him, I'm sure he'll fill it out, that won't be a problem. So we'll deal with it at the next meeting. Any other nominations? Okay, we'll move on. Previous business.
Consideration and approval to approve the Leanna Hicks Public Library millage ballot language to be placed on the August 6, 2019 ballot. And this item needs to be removed from the table.
Motion to, do we have a motion to remove from the table?
Should I make a motion to remove from the table? Board.
All right, discussion. Mr. Wells, are you representing the library board tonight?
I guess I am.
Come on up. I thought I saw you back there.
How are you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
I'm sure you're aware, we sent the librarian a request for some information after the last meeting. Specifically wanted to see the projected operating budget for the new library. So we can deal with the ballot language, approve the ballot language for going on the ballot.
Okay, so you needed, okay.
Yeah, we haven't received anything, so maybe she hasn't got a chance to get that together yet.
Okay, you're looking for the, what are you looking for again?
Proposed operating budget.
Okay, operating, okay.
just so you know, because obviously you're aware, because you're the president of the board for many years, over the last 10 years, we had a millage of 2 mills.
Correct.
And you guys were able to operate, even though we're not open all the time, but you were able to operate as well as save up money for the new library.
Correct.
So we just want to make sure in renewing the millage, that 2 mills is the appropriate amount to put on the ballot.
I see what you're saying, yeah. And legally by law, whatever the board actually does a resolution, and we determine how much of the 2 mills they'll levy, whatever the voters do.
Okay.
The 2 mills is the amount that we're going for, so, but I'll be more than happy to provide the information to you all. And secondly, also on you all's resolution, there was some confusion here. First, I want to let you all know, you all never should have received that at the last meeting, because the board had not adopted a resolution. I found some errors in there.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, once again, something was done. It was made very clear at February's meeting not to do anything until we had a chance to go over it, because I did have some questions. When I looked this morning, I didn't get a couple of answers to the questions I had, because I think in your resolution, the first paragraph, for some reason, says the council meeting was at, like, small errors. It had at the library, but you all meet at City Hall and things like that. And then I had questions about Brownfield, how come they're able to capture and the other one's not. So there are some things that, and even the dollar amount, we actually voted the last meeting, the figure there was 399,000 there, and we voted for 393,000 based on the, unfortunately, since, based on the 2018 tax request form, because the one this year won't happen until May. So, but I'll be more than happy to get that information. I just want to be sure all the language is correct. So
Okay.
we'll be able to discuss that at the next meeting with
Sure.
the information.
Sure.
I'll feel more comfortable because I don't want errors in either resolution and stuff like that.
We definitely have to get done at the next meeting to meet your
I'll
timeline.
be sure that you get, so you want the operating budget based on, and I'll give you all a whole explanation on why, because the 1 mill will not,
Won't do it?
it definitely will not do it. And just a real quick note, at that time, 2 mills were saved up because just the millage money alone was over 650,000, plus with all of our gross revenues, it was over 700,000. But when we had all the property decline and everything, essentially 2 mills is now worth like a little over 1 mill. And what we would need to operate the new library on with because we had reduced hours, we weren't spending money, that's how we were able to overcome
Save
that
the money.
hump, right? So pretty much, I mean, my projected is it's going to be tight with the 2 mills going forward, because we would
okay.
need to significantly increase staff and hours. But I would rather give you a write-up, and then if we could just, before you all approve it tonight, maybe we could just put it on the next agenda, so you have, and I could do a presentation.
Okay. We may even vote not to take it off the table, and then we'll put it on the next meeting's agenda.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
And that way-
We can. All right, because we
Does
tabled it from the
that-
last.
Does the operating budget include the question of what has improved since?
Yeah, one of the questions, you weren't here at the last meeting. One of the questions was, okay, since the last millage, the last 10 years, what programs or what improvements have you made to the library? Obviously, you left the building, we're in a temporary building.
Okay.
But I guess we're talking programming. 'Cause
We're
the building-
talking books. I
Anything.
had 10 books when I started. I got 35 now.
Yeah.
I just want to know
Just
what
some
the
basic
improvements to
information.
that.
Okay. All right, I'll get all that information. Do I just submit it to you and you'll submit it to everyone?
Yeah, you get to the clerk and we'll
To the
give it to
clerk.
everybody on council. Then-
Okay, and I'll have a detailed information. Just give me by the end of this, by a few days. Give me
Okay.
by the end of the week, I should say. Just
Sounds
give me
good.
some time. Okay,
Thank you. No, hold on a second.
We still got the table made.
We're in a motion to take it off the table, we could vote that down and it just dies. And then we'll come back in the next meeting. Does that make sense? Okay, all right, so,
It's cool with the parliamentarians.
so everybody, any other questions around that? Any discussion? Regarding the table? All those in favor of removing it from the table, say aye. Opposed, nay. Nay. Okay, it dies. So previous business is off the agenda. All right, we can go into new business.
Consideration and approval authorizing an offer to purchase one vacant residential lot, which is located on the south side of Trowbridge between John Daly and Bayhand, and is legally described as duly noted in the amount of $250 to Dorian Bankhead.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Support. Been properly moved and supported, discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Passes.
Item B is consider approval of an offer to purchase 4 vacant commercial lots, which are located on the west side of Inkster Road between Glenwood and Northwood Drive and are legally described as duly noted in the amount of $3,500 to Sonia Hickey.
So move.
Support.
Been properly moved and supported, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes.
Item C, consider authorizing administration to enter into a contract with Progressive Sweeping Contractor, Inc., the lowest bidder to provide street sweeping in the city of Inkster.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept with the changes that we asked or amendments or requests that we asked per DPS in orientation.
You mean the one that you being in charge of making sure that they do a better job?
That's what it entails. If that's what it entails.
Support. All right, it's been properly moved and supported, discussion.
I have a question. According to Mr. Avery, this is a contingency plan. No? Oh, this in the sweeping? Oh, I'm sorry. Use the ring.
One more, you done?
No, I'm through.
Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but it passes.
Item D is consider authorizing administration to enter into 3 agreements with the following vendor: ALI Construction, Bidgar, and CPI Excavating to provide as-needed basis to assist in water main breaks and sewer repair on an on-call service basis.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Support. Been properly moved and supported, discussion.
Yes, when talking with our employees here, I think that we ought to make this, as Sandra was saying, contingency as needed.
Oh, yeah. We definitely will only use this if we cannot, absolutely cannot handle the workload ourselves. Because obviously it's additional money. And my understanding is we're gonna try to do it with the employees we have now, see if we can catch up. But if it does pass, we will have the ability to use a contractor if necessary, as a last resort.
That's all I want to do is clarify its contingency, because we did pay attention to what they said about being able to handle the job themselves, and I think we owe it to them to give them every opportunity to do that, so just so long as we're clear.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, what we didn't discuss in that conversation earlier, we talked about the testing, okay? Now, what we didn't talk about was recreational marijuana, because they have the, they passed that, and recreational marijuana is basically like people going to the store and not buying beer, except they have not regulated that yet. So people who are failing this test is basically unfair because it's not regulated, or they don't have a breathalyzer test for medical marijuana. So, you know, beer going to run through your system, that's going to be
But
it.
it's
Marijuana-
illegal to do it at work regardless.
What
isn't
I'm getting at is that marijuana stays in your system a lot longer
Sure.
than alcohol will.
Then don't come to work.
No, I mean, his point is definitely well taken. You guys create the policy. So right now, obviously, police and fire and DPS are different from any other employee. Any other employee, if they do whatever they want to do in their spare time, that's fine. But if you're operating machinery, carrying a pistol, you know, certain things you have to abide by different rules.
But those rules still apply.
For DPS, you guys, to some extent, create the policy. I mean, obviously, we don't want people at work impaired, if someone can get hurt.
Machinery,
You know.
if getting in those manholes and all of that, that's dangerous for the young man.
Yeah, so I mean, but you know, marijuana obviously is different than alcohol, it's different than some other drugs. You can do it the night before, the next day you can be fine. You know, so I'm told. but right. You know how rumors start. But that's something we need to start thinking about from a policy standpoint.
Yeah.
Because the laws change. So how are we going to deal with that, and who do we think it's important to have, you know, that higher scrutiny or
Because the league, when I went to the conference, they talked about that, and that's one of the issues that they are stopped with right now.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough because you want to err on the side of safety, but you can't tell grown folks what to do
No.
outside of work.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't the state, are they going through, those legal terms and what to do? Because we could set something, but if the state does, right?
There's no state law,
I
you
mean,
know.
but they're gonna have to do something, because it's
I
gonna
mean,
be.
a lot of private companies are keeping their same policy. If they test you and you come up positive, you violate the rules.
Okay.
You know, if we have a situation now, if you test positive for something, we try to get you help because it's a medical condition.
Correct.
You know, so that's how we treat it at the moment. But you guys, we're gonna have to revisit that at some
Do
point.
you do that for salary as well as, I know you do it for unions, but.
Oh, I just fired the salary people. Worry about it. Shoot.
Okay, okay. I know you do it for unions, 'cause I'm in a union, so I know you do it for unions, but.
Y'all better stay away from Gina Clark.
This is an at-will employer.
Are you finished too?
However.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I have a question too. I was just thinking about as far as our water main breaks, I know they're getting to everything, but I know I called Bud. I had one, I just seen water on the street. And I called him, I said, come and look and see if it's a water main. It hasn't been, it rained a couple of days ago, but it still was water there. And it happened to be one. I want to thank Bud, but if people was to see that in the street, if they see water and it has not been raining, call us, because we are losing money when there's a water main break and they don't know it. Losing money every day. So in that question that we was talking about, I was maybe if we can get a financial report or how much money we are losing.
Oh, we're losing about 250,000 gallons a day. So, that when you have water main breaks, that water is gushing out. We're paying for it. You know, so that's why we have to keep up with it and make sure it's just money flowing all day long.
You know, the other thing, Mayor, is when it rains, I mean, it just continues to puddle along Middle Belt and Beach Nut. I mean, every time it rains, and I've been talking about this for a while, so I'm assuming that the issue that we're dealing with now, where we'll prove these people to look at what's going on, what's happening, that it's going to include the puddling of and that's not the only location. It puddles everywhere else too.
We are gonna do a water leak detection, the entire city. We're gonna do it this spring and summer. So we're gonna try to detect all the leaks. Problem is, like you said, next fall come, we got some new ones. But we're gonna sweep the whole city to try to cut down on our water loss.
That's good to
It's
hear.
cost us a lot of money.
So how much you say it's costing a day?
250,000 gallons.
I don't know the price of this a gallon.
You know, and it was worse a couple weeks ago.
Right.
I mean, it was to the point people were calling us like, what's going on in Inkster?
Right.
You know, the water authority. Did we take the vote yet?
It was a discussion.
It was
Still
discussion.
discussing? Y'all ready?
I got one more.
Okay, go ahead.
But to the audience and to the ones that was not here, I was asking our state representative about writing a bill on this, because we have these water breaks is all over the United States. We're all over Michigan right now. And it's a Band-Aid we keep putting on it every day, and we keep losing more and more water every day. So hopefully he can get a bill passed, get to his colleagues and pass a bill to where we can finally fix the infrastructure and we can stop putting the Band-Aids on it.
I would hope so. Well, you do that, we build a statue of you right in the middle, downtown, man. Oh, man.
You gotta have two, because if he do it for the whole state, he better be in Lansing too.
Oh, man, yeah.
On top of the Capitol building.
I think we'll be calling him governor if he can do it for the whole state.
The portion about impairment that he was talking about, it's not gonna be part of this vote.
No,
Something we're gonna do
no,
in
it has
another
nothing to do with this.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, it passes, I guess.
The contingency,
Oh, with the
I got 'em on
contingencies.
here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
but they will, and leave that to them to.
Determine when they need help.
Yep. Okay, all right, item E.
Is consideration and approval to honor Pat Williams of the Stardust.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to rename the multipurpose room at the complex to the Patricia Williams Community Room.
Support. Been properly moved, support, discussion. I just want to give you an update from last meeting. There's a lot of great ideas as to how to honor Pat Williams. took those into consideration. There was so many, it was kind of hard to sort through as a body. So what we decided to do is go talk to her husband, Dorsey Williams. I had a chance to go over last Friday night, had a long discussion with him, and asked him what did he think was the most appropriate way to honor her. And this is what he chose. I told him it's entirely up to him. We'll do whatever he wants us to do. To take all the stuff out of it, politics and otherwise, we would honor whatever he wanted us to do, and this is what he chose. So I was hoping he could come here tonight because I was actually, if you're available, he was supposed to come tonight so he could articulate that so everybody could hear from his own mouth that this is what he chose. But I'm happy that we have an opportunity to do something that he had discussed with his whole family, that they're all think is appropriate. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Passes. All right, public participation. Opal Nolan. She asleep? She asleep?
Good evening, Mayor and Council, and to the audience. It won't take me but a second. I wanted to come and thank DPS, Bud and his crew, for fixing my street. This is something good, so I wanted to share it with everyone. The potholes on my street, they was getting large, and I kept running, over them and into them, and now they are fixed today. It was fixed when I got, I said, oh, they fixed it without me calling them. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, she definitely done ran over him. A couple tires later, a couple accidents. Officer Lebo.
They stopped telling her business.
Right.
You're allowed to laugh at me. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. First and foremost, I would say happy birthday to Mother Strom. A few other things. So actually recently, I made a post today on Facebook. We had a package thief happen in the city of Inkster. And I'll tell you what, we're going to catch the guy. We're going to catch the guy because of a doorbell camera. I'm going to make a suggestion, make an investment in a doorbell camera. We've had so many prosecutions of not just simple package thieves, but major crimes off of doorbell cameras. It does kind of have a heavy initial investment, but a lot of times the yearly cost is relatively low, and I would just really look into it. If you want some information about it, come see me, and I'll talk about it. It's solved a lot of crimes, and it's really, really helpful. Something like a package theft, no one really sees too much because it happens so quickly. And those cameras pick up everything in really, really good detail. I don't know what you're doing, but you know what? If you catch enough people, maybe eventually they'll come to their senses, but who knows? Right. Some people don't want to work for what they got.
Right.
So, next I would like to say, recently I've been getting a lot of requests for auxiliary details with like a day or two notice. And I wanted to put it out there that these auxiliary officers are volunteers. They put their time in for the city of Inkster voluntarily, but they usually have other jobs as well. I need at least 2 weeks notice, because it's got to go down the chain of command, and then it has to be put out there as a request. So if you can give me a little bit more notice so I can get guys to your events, I would really appreciate it. If I can be there, I will, but my schedule does fill up relatively quickly. So give me a little bit of notice, and I'll be able to happily fill your guys' request for auxiliary units. 2 weeks is preferable. I cannot do it the day before. I feel bad, but I can't. These guys, they got a lot going on, and they do a lot for me. So, other than that, back to normally scheduled programming. Coming up, events through the police department. Saturday, April 13th is the Easter egg hunt. Pretty excited about that. We'll have a marshmallow helicopter drop along with an Easter egg hunt, photos with Easter Bunny, face painting, arts, crafts, prizes, and more. That is at the Booker Dozer Rec Complex from 11 to 2 on Saturday, April 13th. Please come on out. We are also looking for some donations of candy. We need empty eggs, like the eggs that we need to fill, as well as anything of a monetary donation. Candy, yeah. Okay. So come out and join us. We are asking for you to register on Eventbrite because we will be providing, obviously, prizes and food. So I want to make sure we have enough for everybody. Looks like we're going to have a very good turnout this year, so come join us.
How many kids are you expecting?
Already at about 400 registered.
Oh, wow.
Already, and it's growing like every day. I look and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Really?
It's awesome. Oh yeah, everything's blowing up, and it's good. It's great. Getting a lot of positive community engagement out of it. It makes me really happy. It's a lot of work. Volunteers, absolutely. Thank you very much. We need volunteers. Please come help us because we're gonna have a lot of kids this year. We'll probably double what we had last year, and that was a lot of work. So please, if you are willing to donate your time, we also will accept students that need volunteer time. I'll sign off on the paperwork. Got no problem with that. Please send them our way.
Okay, so, excuse me, so you said that to sign up, either call or go on the internet?
Eventbrite. So if you go to eventbrite.com and search Inkster Easter Egg Hunt.
Okay.
It's also, there's a link through the police department's Facebook page.
Okay.
You can go there as well. We just ask that so we make sure we have enough for everybody.
Okay.
Completely free. Next, our next Coffee with a Cop is Wednesday, April 17th, 10 a.m., Applewood, Coney Island. Coffee is on us. Just come and have a conversation with us. We are still looking for Inkster boys ages 14 to 15 to join us in our Michigan Youth Leadership Academy in partnership with Michigan State Police. They'll be attending a 5-day stay-away camp up in Lansing where they will learn leadership skills, including resume building, team building skills, interview skills. They will go on field trips. They learn how to swim if they can't swim or scuba dive if they can. It's really fun. We're looking for boys. Come see me if you would like to have somebody you know get involved. Completely free. And last but not least, we are participating in this year's National Night Out. It's going to be Tuesday, August 6th, 2019, from 5 to 9 p.m. in the Inkster Police Department parking lot. We are currently looking for organizations who would like a free booth. Free advertising, people. Come find me. Thank you all.
Thank you. Johnny Somerville.
Who?
Johnny Somerville.
Mayor Nolan,
Good evening.
board members, council people, and residents. My name is Dr. Johnny Somerville, and I stand before you on behalf of Alpha Kappa Alpha. I know that everybody in here has heard about us. We are all over Inkster. We are invested in Inkster. We are involved in Inkster. We love Inkster. I'm talking to you today, though, on behalf of a project that we have going forward, and that project is a housing project that is being directed by Mr. Jason Dixon and All Pro Management. We are hosting that event with him on April 10th of this year at Bocadoja from 6 to 7:30 p.m. We need you. We cannot make the impact that we want to make unless all of the Inkster residents are involved or know about it. So what we're asking you to do, a flyer will be coming out within 2 days, but you can register starting tomorrow by going to akatarget3@gmail.com or using Eventbrite. What will Jason do? He will talk to you about how you can no longer rent because he's going to give us some information that will help us to buy. You'll be able to take your vouchers, turn them into housing subsidy, and we're even looking, I think about Thursday, we're going to try to go to Home Depot and see if we can get some assistance from them because even when you buy houses, sometimes you have repairs that need to be made, and we want to help you be able to get those repairs. So we're going to go to them at Home Depot and try to get some kind of assistance in that area as well. This is a great time for you to move. And you, I'm talking plurally, I'm talking about other people that are not even in this building. But we can move this thing. We can move from renting, from paying that rent every month and not getting anything out of it and buy homes. But we need you to be there. Now, I know if any of you have ever heard Jason, he is a power goer. He is one that gets your attention. He has the information that you need. He's going to share the Community Reinvestment Act information with you, and that tells you how you can use your vouchers to change them from rent things to a housing subsidy. We would like to ask you to make sure that you go online or that you do come. If you have any questions, you can email us at that address, or if need be, though, we really want you to go and register for that event on the 10th. Are there any questions? 6 to 7:30. And you know, I have something. I'm going to try to read this real quickly, but I have some information about what Jason will share. The eyes are getting old, so even with glasses, they don't work. But some things that Jason will do, he'll talk to you about the Community Reinvestment Act. He will help you to know what questions you need to ask your representatives about housing, because we don't know stuff, so we don't ask and we don't get it. But he will give you the questions that you need to ask. He will give you the truth about credit tips on how to repair your credit. He will also tell you about banking basics or the importance of banking relationships. But the one thing that I do want everybody to walk out of here with is that Jason will help you. He will tell you how you can get a down payment for your home that you want to buy by using Section 8. That's information we don't know. And we need to get that information. The more, the many. Next week on the 10th, Dozier Center, 6 to 7:30. I got school on the head. 6 to 7:30 p.m. Any questions? Thank you, Mayor, for allowing me to come.
Anytime. Finally, we have Sharon Lucy Bird, Seventh-day Adventist Church. Ready?
Thank you, Mayor, and thank the council for giving me the opportunity to tell you about our outreach program. The last time we was here, we talked about taking barley and make burgers, and the Lord blessed us. He sent us 64 people to our cooking class. So today, I'm going to talk about our next cooking class, which is going to be Sunday, April the 28th, 2019. And we always try to feed people. So you go to your church, and when you leave your church, you don't have to worry about fixing food because we got you. And also, we're going to talk about a healthy pizza. Everybody loves pizza. And I don't usually eat pizza because it's usually have white flour and it's really unhealthy. But we want to teach you how to do a healthy pizza. The work that we're doing, we hope that it will only impact the people now, but the people will take the information and it will impact generations to come so that people can be healthy. Because, so not only are we going to do a healthy pizza, but our pastor is also a licensed psychologist. And he's going to do we have two parts. We have an educational part, which is going to come before the cooking. And he's going to talk to everyone about mental health seminar, because we have a lot of mental health. And you need to know when do you need to go and get help. And so he will be addressing that. So thank you. Everybody is welcome to come. Our program is free. And we look forward to seeing some of you guys.
What time does it start on the 20th?
Okay, let me give you the location. It's Sharon Seventh-day Adventist Church, 28537 Cherry Street, Inkster, Michigan. And our pastor is Pastor Earl E. Liverpool, PhD. And it's Sunday, April the 28th, 2019, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And we want you to pre-register by Wednesday, April the 17th, 2019. Because we don't want you to come there and we don't have anything to feed you after you don't went to church and you're tired and you're hungry. I don't think you appreciate that. So cooperate with us and we'll cooperate with you. And thank you very much for your time. And would you give me the opportunity to pass these out?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Clerk,
No announcements tonight, Mayor.
Mr. Treasurer.
Just one announcement with the start of spring. We'll be beginning the pickup of yard waste and compost, and that will be done on a weekly basis, starting this week. So you can start putting those items out once, and it will be done weekly.
It makes them happy. Councilwoman Wiley.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things. A resident stopped me in one of the dollar stores again and said that Avondale between Middle Belt and Inkster Road needs some stuff putting all them holes that are going down. She said, you don't have to fix the street, but you do have to fill them holes with something, she said, because it is horrible going down there. That's Avondale between Inkster and Middle Belt. Also, we're still doing parade stuff, so.
We'll have Bud fix that while he's picking up the garbage bag.
And putting out signs.
Put the signs up. Right. Okay. Councilwoman Howard.
I don't have any.
Okay. Councilman Oden.
I'm on the same kick. It's,
Fill the holes?
yeah, but only going further west between Middle Belt and Henry Ruff.
I'm starting to see a theme here.
It's rough, brother. It's rough. You call some people all the time about it.
Okay, we'll have an estimate in 2 weeks. We're getting the estimate for all of the 4 roads we chose to fix in our capital improvement plan. So be ready for some big numbers at the next meeting. We're gonna lay it out so everybody knows what we're looking at. But we're getting started this summer though. We're gonna fix something, whatever we can afford to fix. All right, Councilman Chisholm.
I wanted to say, first to the roads thing, I'm glad that you said that because when I was over at Canterbury Woods, one of the citizens told me, I don't think y'all gonna fix the roads. And I asked her if she had seen Annapolis Road and before and after, and asked her if she had seen Arcola before and after. Unfortunately, she had not. So I am glad to be able to at least take that information back, because I also asked her if she read over the State of the City that came out. Some of our citizens have not utilized that opportunity to take a glance at it. So I encourage you to do so to understand what direction we're going in. And then also, I know everybody wasn't here at the orientation meeting. We did have some city employees from DPS that spoke about different things that we had on the agenda. And the mayor had mentioned that that was going to start happening more often. I just want to say I wish that could happen, I guess, during public participation maybe, or maybe during the presentation so the viewers at home.
Hear it.
Yeah, that way everybody can hear it, because one, everybody wasn't here for the orientation, so they don't even know what was particularly going on. And then for those on the outside, at least they'll have something to go back to. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Mitchell.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Community Up, the organization Community Up, for their work that they did. I got a phone call on Friday, I believe it was, and the person who called me was just amazed because they were in the Parkside community, and the before and after pictures were amazing. They really worked hard. And I understand Mr. Carter is responsible for getting them to work with them so that they can get spruced up and looking very nice for the spring. And I would like to thank you, Mr. Carter, and I would like to thank Community Up for the work they did. They also, over the weekend, went to the rec center and did some work. So this is a group of young men and women, our millennials, and they're making a difference in the city. And they're giving all of us an example as to how unity in the community is supposed to work. So I'm really very appreciative of them and the work that they're doing. I would also like to remind you that Top Ladies of Distinction Incorporated Michigan Metro Chapter is having their Golden Age reception on August 14th at the Book Dozier Recreation Center at 4 o'clock p.m. It's free to all seniors. I tell you, it's getting difficult for people to RSVP. We couldn't afford to do 55 cents a letter. It's kind of high. But I will post it on Facebook again, and there is a number that you can call to RSVP. You don't have to talk to the person who answers the phone, or if you just get them, you know, voicemail, just leave your name and move on. So we hope that we'll see you there.
Can I ask? August?
Did I say April?
No, you said.
You said August. I said April.
Okay, that's a lot.
No, I'm in August, but it is April 14th. Yes.
That's what I'm asking, because I said, I did that wrong.
No, you did it quite right. I don't know where the brain is tonight. Okay, it's April 14th at the Book of Soldier Recreation Center. Thank you very much. I'll be quiet before I do something. 4 o'clock. You can just come up to me tonight and tell me I'm coming. That'll be just fine.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you. I have a few things here. I'm gonna start from the middle. First, I'd like to request that we get a new up-to-date zoning map. Some property, people who buy property, and I was telling them, well, go to the city hall and find out how to zone first. And let me not let look it up myself, but we need a new zoning map. Okay.
In better colors and stuff?
Well, no. Well, the issue is that when a business go out of business for so long, and somebody wants to purchase that business, they come back and says, well, that business has been rezoned to residential. So maybe the map can explain some things. There's like a Penny's Bun Shop on Carlisle and Irene.
That was one they did have.
Yeah, they turned into residential, and I've been hearing that on Harrison as well and on Inkster Road. You know, when somebody shut down a business, somebody come out there open it up. Normally it's normally commercial or dual mix right there, and it's been reduced down to just residential. So I just want to look into that. Okay. Also, once again, the lights on Annapolis. There were 3 that work. Now there's only 2 that work. So there's 8 lights altogether, and I know these are specialty lights.
Close to what side streets?
Annapolis between Middle Belt and Irene.
Okay. You got that, bud?
One of those lights got knocked down about a year ago, so they put the whole pole back up. Okay. Okay. I'd like to also say thank you to CUPS also for going out a couple of weeks ago and cleaning up around Parkside. Also, CUPS, they incorporated a group called Phantom. They're a new motorcycle club that's in the city. Yeah. And there's a bunch of young guys who actually came out and helped out. They also came out yesterday with Jason. He organized a cleanup at the complex. And he had quite a few of us out there yesterday cleaning up. So I want to give kudos to those 2 groups on getting us out there and cleaning up around our most precious jewel, the complex. Okay. Water bills. When I get a lot of citizens that call because their water bills are spiking. And so I was there when we bought the system, and we bought the Courtney Owens would call it the Cadillac of water systems, okay? And when the water was spiking, we should have been calling somebody or letting them know. Of course, you can't call them because all the water bills say occupancy. But I'm suggesting that if we see a water bill that's spiking, can we send them a letter to let them know that it's spiking? Because sometimes their water bill, I had a couple of citizens whose water bill was estimated and went for about a year. Okay, so we should be able to catch that and so we can.
It's tough because basically we have to put a human being just watch, and then how they watch all 85 or 9,000 accounts to see if they're spiking. Like, you know, it's tricky.
Well, it was supposed to give off some type of
They
signal.
said that it's supposed to go, alert is supposed to go off.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah, let us go off. Okay.
I was not sitting up here at the time, but I remember the conversation.
Yeah.
But it was told it was
Yeah,
supposed to work.
that's what was said.
But I say it could have been the Cadillac of all water meters. Okay.
More like the Pinto.
Okay. Okay, and then also for help the landlords, you know, they have tenants that don't pay their water bill at all. So if we see that their water bill is not being paid, can we send out after 2 months a warning that we're going to shut your water off? I know we have not been shutting water off. We used to have a policy on shutting off water.
It's 30 days. But
30
we're
days?
already behind in shut-off, so it's longer than 30 days.
Oh, okay.
And that was one of the issues related to the
The
as-needed
overtime.
contract, you know, because
Okay.
we've had to pull, I'm sorry?
No, I was just gonna wait and ask.
You know, so we've increased the number of people that are actually going out there, not just water shutoffs, but trying to we had to reset meters, we're having to replace meters, we're
Check the
trying to be more, change the batteries and everything. But as we were discussing, you know, we've had to kind of pull back from that in order to focus some of these guys on the water main breaks. To your question, Mayor Pro Tem, you know, there's a couple things. One is we don't always have the landlord's information. You know, so there's an issue of you know, how we communicate, and it's a challenge to try and, because we get a stack of return mail. You know, and so there's a cost associated with that, and two, there's you know, just a cost associated with sending that in the mail, and two, there's a staffing cost. You know, somebody has to prepare that, find that information. You know, one of the things that we've tried to really instruct the landlords is to be proactive. That information is available online, so even if it's the tenant's responsibility, we let them know that the ultimate responsibility stays with the homeowner, and that they should monitor that account. They should, you know, go online, or they can ask to get a copy of the bill and track what's going on with that. Because in all honesty, we just don't have enough resources for us to take on the responsibility of saying, if they fall behind, we're going to notify the landlord. You know, it's really in the landlord's interest, as well as ours, to communicate, to follow that, to, you know, there's, like I said, the information is out there. It's available on the internet. They can at any time see what's going on, if payments have or haven't been made. So, you know, we try and work with them, try and communicate with them, but we really honestly can't say if somebody falls a couple months behind that we're going to be able to send a landlord a notice. One, we just don't know what customer, what account, whether it's a resident, whether it's a homeowner, whether it's a tenant, and we don't know what the, you know, if it's sometimes it's the landlord's responsibility, sometimes it's the tenant's responsibility. We just don't have that information to make that type of determination.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, when we have water bills we notice that no one's paying the water bill month after month after month, and we're putting it onto the taxes. Some of these landlords are unaware. Of course, they should be aware of what's going on. They should be aware, because the water bill is going to the tenant. It's not going to the landlord. Now, the landlord needs to request to have a duplicate bill sent to them as well.
Well, why don't they, I would suggest when someone asks you that, landlord, tell them to go to the website once a month and check the water bill. See if it's been paid, see what the balance is, then that puts the onus on them.
And they can always request to get a duplicate bill. We do provide that.
Okay. All right. Okay. At the corner of Farnham and Andover, the sidewalk there. It's a sidewalk that leads over to the next street, and people have been driving across that sidewalk, coming to the next street. I was even told that the police officers do it as well.
Wow.
So.
Should be
Chasing
with
somebody?
on the street? I mean, on the sidewalk?
Oh, no, with lights off. Okay. This is one thing that came up at my town hall meeting about, I've heard it before, you know, about them driving through there. Now, they said that they can't put barriers up because it's an easement for the light company. Okay, so we need to figure out something. Maybe we can get the light company, have them put up a gate or something to where they can unlock it and they can get to the easement.
Well, we just tell Lebo to stop driving on the side.
I'm not throwing her under the bus. That's gonna be on you. Okay. This is a shout out to all Inkster High School Vikings of all class. We're having the class picnic that's going to be on July the 27th. We're going to have a class meeting on Friday, April 5th at the Starters Lounge at 6 p.m. We're looking for people from at least from 1990 to 2013. That was the last class. We want to plan the picnic this year. We want to do some different things, and we need a lot of participation. So if you can be there or send someone there, we greatly appreciate it. Okay.
Why are you leaving the other classes out?
They want some money.
Uh-oh, you gonna get it now.
Can I call you and tell you?
That's what I asked.
Uh-oh, you gonna get it. You gonna get it.
The man said they want to do some different things. So that means they don't want you old people to come no more. They want to do
You know, it's
different
not enough they
things.
saying that, okay? Byron, stop throwing people under the bus. You are welcome to come.
Hey, they was gonna come anyway. They was gonna burn you.
I know he was gonna come, brother. I'll tell you, don't come or not. I know he coming.
Right, he was gonna burn you anyway.
Okay. Okay. 68. Okay, I'll put that on the list. 68. Well, when we go back to the 57, when was Inkster High School built? When was the first class at Inkster High?
You should go back.
The first class.
52.
I wouldn't even. Oh.
Because before that, it was the building on Harrison,
Harrison.
in Michigan Avenue.
Okay, 52 then.
First class was 52, I believe. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. I guess it was for Sade. I had a citizen want to know how many vacant commercial properties do we have available, and could you provide me with that list? Okay, thank you. For the mayor.
Me too, Sade.
Citizens are calling, they're complaining that people are not answering the phone at City Hall.
Which number?
They didn't say. I know it's not the clerk's office because I call there every day and somebody answers the phone at the clerk's office. But then I have cell numbers. I can call people direct, but you know, I think the general numbers they probably having problems with.
That way you come in more often.
Yeah, I was checking on you today. Okay. And everyone, continue to shop Inkster. Thank you.
I'm gonna keep it quick. Yeah, she was first.
Okay. What?
Yes, did you get a chance to speak?
Who asked?
Treasurer.
The
Did you
Darren-
forget? She might have forgot.
The
Yeah.
Darren-
She might have
Almost
forgot
took a
too.
nap over
For those who didn't get a chance to attend, Seize the Feed Black Tie event was Saturday fundraiser. It was an excellent event. They're able to raise a good amount of money, so we get ready for our 20th picnic this year? 19th picnic. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. The Sunday after Father's Day in June. So looking forward to that. It's a great event.
19th picnic in the 19th year.
Yep. And for those who didn't catch the post on social media, we were the recipient of 3 pretty nice sized grants last week. We have a grant for $100,000 for police vehicles, purchase of new vehicles to replace some of the older ones. We also received $142,975 for streetlight upgrades. 75% of the city streetlights have been already upgraded. This will complete the entire city. And we received $260,000 for a new fire rescue ambulance. Now we will have 3 newer ambulances in our fleet, and it gives us an older one to fall back on when they have to be maintenance. So this is good news. We have a total grants of over $502,000, which is great. So, you know, not too bad for not having a on-staff grant writer. You know, mostly the department heads are doing it themselves, and they're getting some stuff done. Al, you got something?
I just wanted to continue off what Mayor Pro Tem and Connie Mitchell had mentioned. I want to thank everybody that came out to the Dozier Sunday, along with the groups that they mentioned. We had 37 residents that actually came out to help. Jason was definitely in charge of orchestrating that organization, along with Legina. Thanks for coming out, along with Inkster Raiders and the Phantom Bike Group.
Okay. All right. All right. Anybody have anything else? You said
It's something that the Deltas are doing. They're having an expungement program.
Yeah, I saw that on social media.
Can't find it at the moment. Say it again?
Flyers?
May
May
4th?
4th? Okay.
Thank you.
May 4th, 10 to 2.
For what?
At American International Academy on Abner? On Abner. Expungement fair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do that
We have a
every
motion to
year.
adjourn?
Motion for adjournment?
Been properly moved, supported, discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. That was warm over there.